Hi class, this video is to kind of help you work through that topic 2 homework number 17 where we're given a rectangular field or farmland. It is in 1 units and we need to convert it into a different units, and then we'll ask follow-up questions about our rectangular area. So in this example problem, we have a farmer has farmland that is a rectangle 3 kilometers long and 2.5 kilometers wide. He wants to completely cover the farmland in dirt. He knows the area each truckload of dirt covers, but only in square miles. So we're going to work through finding the area in square miles, figuring out how many truckloads the farmer needs, and then how much our total cost is going to be for all of this dirt. Okay, and then you will be given a conversion factor table on your problem when you do this. So that will be represented usually over here. I have mine on the top here. Okay, so to tackle this problem, the first thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and get our units in those goal units. Right now, we have a rectangle that's 3 kilometers by 2.5 kilometers. We need all of our measurements to be in square miles. So the first thing we're going to do is convert those kilometers to miles, and then we can calculate the area. Okay, so we want to take 3 kilometers and 2.5 kilometers and convert those to miles. All right, when we do this, we'll look at our conversion factor table. You should find at the bottom you have 1 mile is approximately 1.61 kilometers. When I do my conversion, I need the kilometers to divide out. So I want to make sure I multiply by a fraction with kilometers in the denominator. Then my kilometers from the numerator, kilometers in the denominator, they will divide each other out. Since the kilometers are in the denominator, that's going to force my miles into the numerator. And then we want our final units to be in miles. So that's why they're going in that numerator. And then once we get all the units lined up, pair your numbers with the units. 1 mile is equal to 1.61 kilometers. 1 mile is equal to 1.61 kilometers. Okay, typically when you do conversions like this, at this step, you'd go ahead and take that 3 times 1 divided by 1.61, the 2.5 times 1 divided by 1.61, and get out your answers. In part A, where it's asking us to calculate the square miles, it's asking us to not round any intermediate computations and only round our final answer to 2 decimal places. So instead of plugging these into the calculator right now, we will plug them in later, but for right now, we're going to go ahead and just simplify our fraction and not round this number. So when we do this, the way we've set this up, we have set this up so that our kilometers will cancel. So the kilometers will cancel, and then we'll be left with that units of miles. And then we're going to leave that in fraction form. So I'm going to leave it as 3 over 1.61. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the 2.5. The kilometers cancel, so I'm left with 2.5 over 1.61 miles. Okay, so now we have our length and our width now represented in miles instead of having them represented in kilometers. So now that they're represented in miles, we can go ahead and calculate the total area, and this will give us our total area in miles squared. So this is our part A. So part A, we want to calculate the area. Area of a rectangle is length times width. So we will take those two fractions we just found and we will multiply them together. All right, at this point, you can go ahead and break out your calculator. When you do it, just make sure you do it all in one big step, and then you should get, let me do it real fast. You should get 2.89 when you round to 2 decimal places. So that is 2.89 miles squared. That is our total area of this rectangular farmland. That would be our answer to A. All right, so now let's take a look at B. So part B says the farmer wants to cover his farmland with dirt. He doesn't have any to begin with, and he can't buy partial truckloads. Each truckload of dirt covers 0.8 miles squared. How many whole truckloads of dirt does the farmer need to buy to completely cover his farmland? Okay, so for this part, we are trying to figure out of our 2.89 miles squared, how are we going to divide that up and how many different trucks are we going to need to fit all of this in? We know that each truck can hold 0.8 miles squared. So to figure out how many trucks we need, we can go ahead and divide our total area by how much the trucks can hold. Our units are going to cancel, which is good. And then when we do this division, we'll go ahead and pop it in our calculator. We get 3.6125. Okay, we need whole truckloads. We can't have any partials. So this 3.6125, we need to go ahead and round that up to make sure that we have enough truckloads to cover all of this area. So what you get for part B, it'll tell you whether or not you can have partials. If you can't have partials, make sure you are rounding that number up. So this would be a total of 4 truckloads. So we'd round this up to 4 truckloads as our answer to part B. And then part C is going to walk you through how much is this going to cost. So if each truckload of dirt costs $65.18, how much will he need to spend on dirt? Write your answer to the nearest cent. Okay, so we're going to take the number of truckloads we have, multiply them by how much they cost, and this will give us our total cost to cover our farmland in dirt. So we take that 4, notice I took the 4, the rounded up number, times 65.18, and that will give us $260.72. So in total, it'll cost $260.72 to cover this farmland in dirt. All right, again, this is for topic 2, homework problem number 17. I hope this helps, and please reach out if you guys have any questions at all.